Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and today I'm here to talk to you a bit about Pokemon related news. But before that, please do make sure to stay till the end of the video if you will possibly want to have a comment featured in another video I will be doing probably within the day or by the end of the weekend. It is a video regarding a certain Pokemon that's just been recently revealed, and if you have input on that, I will, stick till the end. I will leave the timestamp in the description if you just want to jump to that spot of the video to know what I'm going to be asking. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Anyway, let's actually get into it. Let's talk about what's in the title of this video, the file size for Pokemon Sun and Moon, because this is pretty unexpected. Okay, so Cerebi just recently, or probably last night, revealed information from the Pokemon official website. The Pokemon official website revealed it, and then Cerebi followed up. Anyway, thing is, the Japanese Pokemon website revealed that Pokemon Sun and Moon is actually going to be taking up 3.2 gigabytes of memory, and they recommended having a 4 gigabyte SD card. Now, the size aside and the SD card recommendation, that number is pretty mighty, and it makes more sense. Well, it doesn't make sense, rather the increase in the memory size, or the size of that game, hits harder when you realize that when it came to Pokemon X and Y, that game, the file size was 1.7 gigabytes. For Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, that game was 1.8 gigabytes. So when you have Pokemon Sun and Moon and their increase is at 3.2 gigabytes, there's over 1 gigabyte of assets in that game. Now, people online, they're kinda trying to figure out what this means, or just speculating. And the first thing you would say, okay, if you look at Pokemon Sun and Moon, you can see that they're using more trainer graphics. There are more trainer graphics in the game. They didn't really skimp out the way X and Y did. And you can kind of see there's a bit more cinematics involved. The character sprites aren't super deformed. And then there's also the inclusion of new Pokemon. But here's the thing, right? Think about X and Y, think about all the graphical assets in that game, and think about Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and think about all those graphical assets, and the music and so forth. And those were still only at 1.7 and 1.8 respectively. So when you look at this game, 1.7 gigabytes, let's assume, is already including all the regular assets that maybe X and Y had. The amount of the Pokemon models are all in that space of the 3.2 gigabytes. So it's still 1 gigabyte of new content or new assets that haven't been in any other Pokemon game in that regard. So just think of it that way. There's no way that less than 100 Pokemon are going to take up that 1 gigabyte when it comes to the size of their models. So the real question is, how much content is Pokemon Sun and Moon gonna have to justify such an increase in file size, especially when you consider we're still dealing with the 3DS here. There's no upscaling, there's no increase in the hardware to actually warrant having better quality graphics. So they're pretty much dealing with the same kind of graphics they were dealing with Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I'm assuming. And then when you look at Pokemon Sun and Moon and you look at the new features like the Popplio, you can go and think, okay, yeah, these are new graphics. They wouldn't naturally appear in another Pokemon game, so there's a lot more. And now when you even start considering that, yeah, it's more content. So what kind of content can we have in Pokemon Sun and Moon to justify an over 1 gigabyte increase in terms of the assets that are inside of this game? Because really, can you see characters taking up that much space? It really depends, because when you consider the Pokemon sprites themselves, or the models themselves, even with over 600 Pokemon models, it was still 1.7 gigabytes when it came to Pokemon X and Y. And so even if you were to add half of that amount in character models, like that's, I don't think there's over 600 different kinds of character models that you will find in a Pokemon game. I don't think they will ever make over 600 models of that. And so it's a very interesting kind of thing to think about. Now, I want to be an optimistic. I want to really think, hey, maybe this is a sign. Maybe the reason they have so many graphical assets is because, for one, Pokemon Sun and Moon is a very pretty game. Like, they are upping up the environment that you are traveling in Pokemon Sun and Moon, but at the end of the day, it's still only 4 islands, right? Like, how much diversity in graphics can you justify, right? So I want to think that there's something else that we haven't seen, and you know, my most optimistic conclusion is that there are graphics for another region hidden in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Like, that would be, oh my god, that would solve the issue of the maybe lack of content because there's no gym leaders. You know, if there's enough content to justify another gigabyte of graphical assets, I will be the happiest man. I'll be the happiest man in the world, and I think I would cry tears of joy because that means I am probably getting more than 12 hours of Pokemon for the main journey, or even the post-game content. Man, if any increase over X and Y's post-game would be great. Like, if it meant more content, I would gladly stare into a Shedinja's hole and risk it. But guys, just to give you also another point of reference, Xenoblade Chronicles, a game that's known for being very, I don't know how to say, heavy when it comes to the world that you can traverse in. Xenoblade Chronicles is 3.6 gigabytes to install. That's a lot. And when you consider that that's the level of assets that Pokemon Sun and Moon is carrying under the hood, that's interesting. Because Xenoblade Chronicles is a giant game. So I want to be hopeful. I really want to be hopeful for Pokemon Sun and Moon. But you guys, let me know when you hear the fact that there's over 1 gigabyte of 1 gigabyte of memory. How do I even say that? When you hear that there's 1 gigabyte worth more of, I guess, file size and the assets that make it up, what do you think? What do you think that means? Do you think we're just gonna get really pretty stuff, or do you think it means we might be getting more content than we might have initially assumed? Because man, that'd be absolutely excellent if that were the case. Anyway, peeps, that's pretty much what I had to tell you. It's that file size. It's a big file size compared to the previous Pokemon titles. It might mean something. It might just mean Pokemon Sun and Moon is just gonna be really pretty and really varied. You know, either way, it's still something impressive. Now it's the end of the video, so let me ask you the question. I am going to be making a video on the newest water starter evolution, Brionne, and I want you guys to tell me, what do you think of this starter? I am going to be making a why do people dislike Brionne video, and if you guys have any impressions of Brionne already, you know, leave it down below in the comments. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? If you leave a comment, I will do my best to feature it in the video as I am talking about what I've been seeing so far about people's reactions, or the more negative reactions to Brionne. So guys, if you want to be a part of that, leave a comment down below, and you could also comment about this stuff too if you want. I won't feature those comments, but you could comment about that. We could have nice little discussions in the comment section. Anyway, peeps, thanks for watching, and well, what can I say here? No, that's pretty much it. Let's all just keep our fingers crossed, because man, if we get like even half of another region in Pokemon Sun and Moon, I will be, oh my god, so ecstatic. I think everyone would welcome that. I'd be okay with whatever bullshittery they pulled with the gym leaders if they gave me more content. Anyway guys, till next time, I really do hope you have an excellent day.